Another week in Chicago, another police shooting, this time a 16-year-old African-American. It comes just as the mayor's task force has released a blistering report. This is the Police Accountability Task Force. The headline is that racism is a major factor in the breakdown of trust. Any surprises here, Abe?
I think it's a pleasant surprise that the report seems to be quite strong. I haven't read it in general, but the news reports show that, they're acknowledging what I think most people know, that racism continues to be part of the fabric of American life, and it seeps into all of our institutions, including the police force, and there's been a long and sad history of that here in Chicago. Hopefully this will lead to some much needed reform.
Well, on that question, does this task force, does it bring new pressure on the mayor and the new police superintendent?
It most definitely does. Actually, one of the recommendations explicitly says that Chicago Police Department leadership should publicly acknowledge the racial disparities going on right now in the city of Chicago. Some of the recommendations, and it's almost a novel, it's 190 pages, some of these recommendations came specifically out of meetings which Lori Lightfoot heard from community members right here at Kennedy King. I moderated one of the police board panels. She's also on the Police Accountability Task Force. Folks in the audience, we're talking about the FOP contract, something that I didn't think that a task force would hone in on with such specificity. And I think at this time it's needed, but I would understand why most people are skeptical about whether or not this will actually bring about real change.
Chris, is that skepticism well-deserved?
Well, we have a brand new superintendent who just got sworn in yesterday, and he's acknowledged that he wants to take the recommendations of this task force seriously, and that's an important first step.
What do you think he needs to do?
Well, he needs to be willing to listen to the community, to acknowledge the community's concerns, and to be willing to engage the community. Because, we know that the Chicago police are the backbone of the community. And to be sure, when an officer acts outside of the bounds of the law and their responsibility, they need to be held accountable for those actions to the people that they are supposed to be protecting. And I think that the new superintendent is taking the steps to recognize that and identify that.
And with morale so low, it's going to be very difficult for him to walk that fine line between holding them accountable and also feeling like, because right now, that I think someone said the police right now is in a fetal position, and we've seen crime go up upwards of 70%. A lot of these communities in the first quarter of the year. So, how do you walk this fine line with holding police accountable, but at the same time not making them feel like you're laying all of the problems of the city at their feet?
Some of the numbers in this report are pretty amazing. So African Americans make up about a third of the city, but you look at the people shot, 74% of them are black, 76% of those tasered, 72% of those stopped on the street are black. Is this a shocking figure, or should it be a shocking figure?
It should be, but it's not. I think we've seen this over and over again, and I think the Justice Department investigation will also be interesting, and really we are looking at practices, long-standing practices in the department that will be challenging to confront but need to be confronted.